What's up, guys? Welcome to your 122nd Android tutorial for the new Boston. And again, just a quick review here. What we've done in the last tutorial, we basically created a long that is going to be our row ID, and we're going to pass that long into these methods called getName and getHotness, and that's going to return some kind of a string for us, which we're going to set to our return name, and we're just going to set our edit text to whatever that string is being returned. So now let's go into our hot or not Java class, and what we're going to do is we're basically going to set up both these methods, and they're pretty much going to be the same because again we're getting the row ID and we're just going to return a string of some sort. So again, it's pretty simple. For the most part, this is review. Again, we need a cursor that's going to read some data for us, so let's set that up. Cursor C equals our database again. We're going to query it, and again we need to enter our table name, which is going to be our table name, and we're also going to set up our columns name, which we're just going to copy from this get data up here. It's going to be pretty much the same, or it is going to be the same. And again, that's what our columns is going to be for our second parameter, just our string array that has all of our columns in our database. And this time we're actually going to do something a little different. What we're going to do is we're going to, for the selection here, we're going to set up basically our long, or a row ID that we're getting passed in. So what we're going to do is we're going to say key underscore row ID, and then we're going to say plus equals in quotations, and then plus our L that we're getting passed in, and then everything else is going to be set to null. Alright, so basically the only thing that's different again is for a third parameter, instead of having this set to null, what we're doing is we're getting our row ID and we're setting that equal to whatever is being passed in. Again, what's being passed in is that whatever is in that edit text for a row ID. Now what we want to do is we want to check if the cursor is set to null, so we're just going to say if cursor is not set to null, again that's expression mark, we're going to basically return the data. So what we're going to do is we're going to say we have to first set our cursor to move to first. You might be thinking that's the first row in our database, but actually again, since we're passing in which row our cursor is looking for, it's going to move to this row that we're passing in. And we have to call that method for this for us to look through it, and then all we're going to do is set up a string called hotness, or actually name. We're going to set this string equal to our cursor dot get string, and we're going to put 1 here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to return our name. So again, just to quickly talk through everything that we've done, because pretty much our get hotness is going to be the same thing for the most part. Again, we set up our columns, and we set up our cursor, which is going to look for the row that's being passed in, and then as long as our cursor is not null, we're going to move to that row for the most part, and we're going to get the string data of our first column. Now quickly, just to go back, because this is a little bit new, I'm just going to scroll up to where we said get data before, because this is kind of the same concept. We had something like this instead of a number. But basically what we're doing is we have 3 columns again, our column row, column name, and column hotness, and last time we set up these ints. But basically what's happening is our row was our first column, so that's at position 0. Our name is our second column, that's position 1, and this is position 2. So if we're returning our name, we can also just say, if we know which column it is, we can just say position 1. Which will be our second column, because again everything in programming for the most part starts at 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. So this will be our name column, and then we're going to return our name. And then if our cursor is set to null, it's just going to return a null. So it's only going to return our name if this works here. So that's kind of the setup. We're just going to copy this and paste it within or actually copy right here and paste it within our hotness. And all we're going to change is basically which cursor we're getting because again our hotness is in our third column, which is 0, 1, 2. So we're going to look for, you know, the hotness column, and it's going to get hotness, something like that, and it's going to return that hotness. So now let's just run our application and make sure everything works. Again, for the most part, this section we're just getting the name and stuff. It's kind of review because we've done it before, but again, I just kind of wanted to talk over it because I'm not sure if I specified it clearly. So again, let's just view our database. We have 2 entries. So let's say we want the second entry. We're going to put 2 here, and then we're going to say get information. As you can see, it pulls up Samantha and 7, which is again our second entry. And we can also do 1 get information, pulls up this. Now, just a note, if we put like 5, it's going to give us an error and it's going to crash our program. So hopefully the person enters the right, the right number. But I'll catch you guys in the next tutorial. Have a good one.